Siouxland Library's Caille branch celebrates the completion of a $1.2 million renovation of the busiest and oldest library in the system. I bet that would win some trivia contests. The completed interior remodel has created a more open environment with a new teen space, small group study rooms, and an addition of interactive elements that promote learning in the kids area. Siouxland Library's staff vowed that the 5-month closure would be worth the wait, in parentheses. And they certainly have kept their promise, so thank you. With the ribbon cutting ceremony today, we congratulate Siouxland Library's Caille branch on their expansion, Caille branch, once it's in my head, it's done. Caille branch on their expansion and remodel, and we thank you for your continued investment. Jody, would you step forward? First off this afternoon from our Ambassador Committee, Mr. Jay Sokup. Jay.
Thank you, Nathan. And thank you all for joining us here at the Caille Library. On behalf of the Ambassador Committee, we want to thank all of you for coming out to celebrate your ribbon cutting with us, Jean and Jody. This library is the absolute key to lifelong learning and workforce development, which is so key in the City of Sioux Falls. So thank you again for all that you do, and we appreciate your support.
Thank you, Jay. Now we have from our diplomat group, David Johnson. David.
Come join us, Gene. As a single parent and a card-carrying member of the Siouxland Libraries, I have to tell you that the quality of life for me to be able to take my boys to story time, to pick out what started as videotapes, and then DVDs for movies on Friday night, to go out and get books, those types of things. What we talk about in Sioux Falls is always quality of life. And as part of the diplomats, I want to congratulate you all on your contribution to the quality of life here in Sioux Falls. It was Walter Cronkite who said, "The expense of our libraries is nothing compared to the cost of ignorance." Congratulations, you guys.
He is smooth. Representing our Young Professional Network, Paige Pearson Mayer.
Very tough act to follow. I don't have Walter Cronkite in my back pocket. But on behalf of the Young Professionals Network, we want to congratulate you on your $1.2 million renovation. Obviously, this is such an inspiring place and a perfect place for YPN members who have many young children. So we will bring all of our kids here to see you. Thank you.
Thank you, Paige. Now, my honor to introduce the mayor of Sioux Falls, Mayor Mike Huether. Mike.
Thank you. Thanks. Well, first of all, there was a shot that I wish all of the press would have been able to get here today. And that was, there were all these cars that were coming in to go see something going on at a library. And it's happening right here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. I love it. It just goes to show just how important this investment is in our community, whether it's on the north side, the south side, the east side, the west side, or when it comes to Siouxland libraries, whether it's communities all across Minnehaha County. This library gig is really, really important to us. And that's all of the libraries. You know, we had these public parks that we take also great pride in. Well, there were some that were not up to snuff when you compared them to some of the others. We had that same situation with some of our libraries. Some were just not up to snuff, including Caille. Well, Caille is certainly up to snuff now. It's absolutely beautiful, but more importantly, it is kept up to pace from a functionality perspective. Libraries have had to evolve almost more than any other entity that we've got in city government. They truly have. The old days of going to, what did we call that? When we'd check out a book?
Oh, the checkout cards?
The Dewey Desk. Thank you. Thank you. Nathan got it. All of you are here. I mean, the old days of the Dewey Decimal System, that certainly is gone. Now we've invested not only in the resources, but the technology, the systems, as well as all the other things that will keep this library so successful for years to come. Also, I wanted to just recognize that there are some people in this room that we don't spend enough time to thank. First, I do want to go to the citizen board members. If you are a past or present library board member, if you could raise your hand, we'd like to give you a round of applause, please. Thank you. And the employees, they busted their tail on behalf of not only the changes that we're making here to the library, but this is one of the busiest libraries in the entire system. Caille is one of the busiest libraries in the entire system, and it will only get busier now. And the first gentleman, young gentleman that I met that is here tonight, and it really does tell the story of the Caille Library, and I hope that you get it. There's a bunch of people who use Caille who are not from Sioux Falls. In fact, most of them are probably from outside of town. They're from T. They're from Brannan. They're from the Harrisburgs and the Hartfords. They are coming in to the Caille purposely, but also we've got people that are visiting here. They're buying something at the Empire Mall. And then before they go home or before they go to the mall, they're stopping off at Caille. So folks, you are at a regional library in a way that we really don't have, and it's right here at Caille. So on behalf of the 173,300, and we're updating the number tomorrow, sorry Joe and the rest of you, but the number only gains. But on behalf of all those people, congratulations. Gene, thank you for your service. Jody, congratulations. Thank you all.
Dewey Decimal, David. Dewey Decimal. That's kind of like Google, but in paper form in drawers. It's not my privilege to introduce Jody Fick, Director of Siouxland Libraries. Jody.
I'd like to thank you all for coming to this amazing new library, new to us. This library actually was in the mind of Sioux Falls way back in the early 70s. Back in 1978, Catherine Schoeneman, the library director, sent a letter to the city council saying, "We'd like to have our first branch. Would you please reserve 3 acres of land?" And the city council did. And the library bought that land, and believe it or not, at that time, land in this area, $502 an acre. Wow. So the land here, $1,500. Well, that purchase was invaluable to the citizens of Sioux Falls. In the time that this library has been open, there have been over 8.8 million items checked out by the people using this library. Wow. If a person had to buy every one of those books, can you imagine the amount of money that would have been leaving our community? Instead, we have it here in the library. We are here for you. We are here for those who want to expand their minds. I want to say some thank yous to a bunch of people that without them, this project would not have been possible. Our library board members, Jean Beto, John Beeman, Craig DeYager, Jed Huseman, Becky Thurman, and the former member Dick Kelly. They had the vision to make sure this happened. Our city council, including Rex Rolfing, Rick Caille, Christine Erickson, Michelle Ertenbach, Greg Neitzert, Pat Starr, Teresa Staley, and Marshall Selberg. They approved the funding for this library to have the remodel. Our Mayor, Mike Huther, who improved this as one of those projects that needed to be done for our citizens. Siouxland Libraries is a joint library system between the City of Sioux Falls and Minnehaha County. And so I also have to thank the Minnehaha County Commissioners, Cindy Heiberger, Gerald Benninga, Dean Karski, who is now also on our library board, Jeff Barth, and Jean Bender, who through their budget also contribute to this library. From the library, our former library director, Mary Johns, truly had the vision for what this library could be. When you are seeing this imaginative use of space and the color, that was due to Mary. Without her, we would not have had quite as imaginative of a library as we have. Along with her on the library staff, I'd like to especially thank Monique Christensen, senior librarian, who was overseer of this entire project, and Karen Schleicher, the branch manager at Caille, along with Kim Koblank, who helped with all of the collection stuff. And I thank you for your patience, but the number of people involved is just really impressive. On our city engineering team, Terry Van Dyke and Red Harms, our finance team, including Kara Sherbring and Ann Bowden, facilities maintenance, Jerry Williams, Troy Deutsch, Pat Wood, and all of their team members. Information technology with our computers, Dan Friedbauer, Kim Hansen, Sean Waples, and Matt Rockover in traffic engineering, and then the city project manager, Aaron Buffenkamp. Thank you all very much for your work. And then our partners outside of the city, the architects who came and looked at the library and put together 3 major ideas for how to change this in less than 48 hours. I mean, really amazing. Thank you. That was Product Architecture and Design out of Chicago, Dan Port and Tiffany Nash. And then locally, Architecture Incorporated kept the project going. Catherine Deckinga and Angeli Jordan. Our general contractor, Ronning Construction with Troy Stanga and all of his numerous subcontractors. And then Jones Library Sales, Canfield Business, and Interstate Office Products for our furnishings and shelving. I thank our fellow chamber members for hosting this ribbon cutting. It's an excellent celebration. And most importantly, I want to thank our library customers, especially those of you for whom Caille is your home library. You were without your library for over 5 months. You graciously traveled to other branches, but we know that this branch is nearest to your heart. Thank you for your patience. We said it would be worth the wait. Welcome back to your modern Caille Branch Library. And next, I'd like to introduce Jean Beto, who is our library board president, who has a few more words for us.
The Siouxland Library's Board of Trustees welcomes you today. We're so glad that you came to share this event. I talked to at least one person who was here when this library was inaugurated in 1986, and welcome back to you. But I don't think any of us could have imagined at that point what libraries would be today and what they have become, the services they offer. I was talking to a friend the other day, and I said, you need to come by and check out the new Caille Branch Library. And I was explaining what it's like, and I was explaining the multitude of colors, and she said to me, what do you mean? How does that all work together? And I said, well, you have to see it to believe it. You can't imagine it until you're in this place. But this is sort of the prototype for what libraries are becoming, and it really is one of the gems of our community, and we are so glad to have it completed. We all know that libraries today are about more than just books and banks of computers. But I read the other day that libraries at their best are really 5 different things. And so I thought, here's a checklist. Let's see how we stack up. And I read that libraries are community builders. Libraries are centers for diverse populations. Libraries are centers for the arts. Libraries are universities of a sort, and libraries are champions of youth. So how do we stack up? Well, I want to tell you that we are all of those things, and we do all of those things. I am so immensely proud of what this library, this system has become in our community. The more I get to know about it, the more I'm just amazed and impressed and awed by the services and the programs that we supply to all ages in this community, of course, in this community and out in our rural areas, because we are multifaceted. So when you leave today, please go out, tell everybody about this library, tell them about our system and what we give to everybody and what we have to offer. When I came in here the first time, well, it was last week with Jody, I know we went back in the children's section, and I said, oh, you raised the roof. Well, we didn't raise the roof, but it's just that now it's so much lighter and so much more open. It really is a new library. I just want to call attention to one more thing before you go, if you haven't already seen this. Maybe some of you have seen a publication that our library staff puts out monthly. I think Karen was one of the people that instituted this, and I know Betsy worked on this, but this is a publication they put out monthly. It's entitled Across Siouxland Libraries. This is the February edition. And if you haven't seen this, you ought to need to take a look at it, because the colors also match the library. But it is a pamphlet that details all of the programs that our libraries, both rural and urban, offer. And it's really amazing, and you'll get a picture of what is really going on in Siouxland libraries. Please encourage all your friends, your family to come and look it over, because you know, this really is our library, and this just might be the best investment that we make in our community. There are more of those little brochures right over there in the corner. And so pick one up and take it along and share it with everybody.
Well, thank you, Jean. Jean, Jody, we have one thing left to do here, and that is to present a plaque and cut a ribbon. Representing our board of directors today is Mr. Gary Gasper. Gary.
Thank you very much. Jody, Jean, not over here. I get the honor of reiterating some of these great comments, but first of all, on behalf of the board of directors and the over 2,200 members of the Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce, congratulations on what truly is a gem for our community. You know, libraries have always been a tremendous source of knowledge, but as our world continues to change and evolve, the libraries have just done a fantastic job of thriving and adapting right along with it. You know, we used to always think of the library as a place to go get books, but, you know, it's become so much more than that because of the services that you just keep expanding. I did a little survey of my employees and just got a sense of what they use the library for. And, you know, very quickly it was, you know, we would come here to get books for our kids' schoolwork, or it might be to host a Girl Scout meeting in one of the meeting rooms, or, you know, it might be to gain a little better understanding of something, or bring the kids to a story time, and they all enjoy different things from the library. For other people, it's a place where they can come access computer resources they might not otherwise have available to them, maybe to help them find a new job or a new place to live. So all those resources are so valuable to our community. So thank you for your investment in the Chamber and in our community. And to commemorate today's event, we have a little piece of hardware that we hope you can find a wall here to display on.
I think it matches.
It does?
It matches.
Yeah, we got a special one just for you, Jody. Got it color coordinated. It reads, "Congratulations are extended Siouxland Library's Caille branch. We extend our sincere congratulations and best wishes for your success and continued growth in the Sioux Falls area. It's presented by the Sioux Falls Area Chamber of Commerce. It's signed by our president, Evan Nolte, and our chamber chair, Dr. Dave Kapaska. Congratulations.